Hi everyone in English 2323, it's Dr. E and I'm here with your week 1 instructional video. So I'm just going to jump right in. Hopefully you had some time to look over the emails that I sent and the quick start video. So if you have any questions before jumping into this, just of course let me know. But this is what our main page in D2L will look like. I really suggest not only, of course, that you utilize Chrome when it comes to D2L, but that you utilize the web version. There is, the Pulse app, which you can get by going up here and looking at notifications, but it's an app that just doesn't have the same kind of functionality as the web version. So just something to be aware of. I know I mentioned this in the D2L walkthrough video, but it's worth repeating. It's just not the best app. Anyhow, so let's go ahead to the content area and take a look at our weekly module. So remember to spend some time in the Start Here module, look through this. If you see anything weird or any links that are broken or things that aren't working, please let me know. I've been over this so many times, but I just know there are things that are likely missed. I do want to note, that this is very misleading. It's kind of annoying that D2L does this because you can see you have little dots here on the right hand side and then check marks. Oftentimes this leads students to believe that they have completed assignments when they actually have not. This just means that you visited a section. So if I click on Meet Your Instructor, it has a little bit of information about me. But if I go back to the Start Here module, it now has a check mark next to it. So it doesn't have anything to do with completing work. So just be careful. And you'll see this one up to 60%. Very misleading. Anyhow, all the stuff is available here on the left-hand side. And we have week 1 here where we will get started. So game is definitely on for week 1. And I want you to note there's a little link here to the Remind app. Some of you may be familiar with that, some of you maybe not. It's just an app that is about keeping in contact. So if you click on this link, it will take you to essentially register for our class area. And this is, and I'll allow you in, like you'll have to see it show. It went straight in because it knows it's me, but you'll want to, put your information there, and it's absolutely not a requirement. So don't, some people have experience with Remind and they're not into it because of maybe they've used it for their kids' schools or anything like that. And just don't want to be overwhelmed, and that's absolutely fine. It's not a requirement. It's just something that if you want an additional layer of, little updates and reminders, then you have that opportunity. This is what every week is going to look like. This is taken directly from our course schedule. So usually this is Monday, but we're starting after MLK Day. And so you want to watch the introduction video, the weekly video, and always note that there are not necessarily many assignments, but there are questions that usually end up in the quiz based on the video, so something to keep in mind. Please take some time to review the syllabus. It's one of those documents, it's lengthy, it has a lot of detail and information, so just take some time with it. Don't sit down and try to get it all in one sitting, because it takes some time for that stuff to marinate a little bit. But it's important. This is a tool. The syllabus for every class you have is absolutely a tool that is there to help you. It is a kind of contract, so make sure you know the ins and outs of it. There is a prompt posted for the weekly discussion. There is a course survey, but it's not due until next week. It is open now, just so that if you want to get something off your plate, you can absolutely do that. And then we also have a mind map assignment and weekly quiz. This is a pretty typical looking week in terms of the assignments. We usually have something on Thursday, something on Sunday, etc. And usually this is available on Monday. Let me pause 1 second. Sorry about that little tickle in my throat. All right, so the first assignment is going to be due on Thursday, and that is a discussion post. And then you have a little note here for any points associated with assignments. On Sunday, you'll respond to 2 colleagues in the discussion area, so up here. I want you to note that anytime you see the plus signs next to a number in the point section, that means it is bonus credit. This is not something I will repeat a lot throughout the semester. This, is just one of those things where if you're paying attention, you're in on the information, right? So if there are weeks where you just can't get this done and it has the plus signs, then don't worry about that. It will not count against you. It will only benefit you, but that's only when the plus signs are there. You do have a mind map assignment that's due, as well as a participation quiz. You'll always have a quiz on Sundays, and remember, Thursdays and Sundays are our due dates, and the due times are always going to be 11:59 p.m. Let me pause one more second, a little tickle. So for this week's module, I did include the information for next week. So again, this comes directly from our course schedule. I won't usually put what's coming up in the next week, but I just, again, wanted you to kind of see how things are structured so that you can start to get used to how things look in our D2L course, because again, so many professors use D2L differently, and I know it'll take a little bit of time to get used to the way that I utilize it. So in each module, you'll have a section to watch, to review, and to do. So of course the to watch is the walkthrough video, any kind of videos. The video we're watching now, it will appear here. So you always have those things listed right at the front because they're always full of directions, right? They're always full of information that helps you through that week. In the to review section, oftentimes this is just going to be instructional guidelines. For example, this is the schedule and this is the syllabus. Sometimes if a particular assignment is due that week, I'll have the instructional guidelines or rubric for that, or a video that walks through those, the assignment expectations. So the review section is just getting you prepared for everything that you're going to do down here. Okay. Oops, this is not right. Let me pause one second. Sorry about that. Like I said, I've looked at everything several times and am going to miss things, so I need your help in that regard for sure. All right, so the first thing is due on Thursday, and that is a discussion post. Some of you may be familiar with how this works in D2L. If you're new to D2L in general, just take it day by day, just be patient. Make sure you're reading through all of the instructions. I say this and I really want you to hear me and I want you to understand I mean it. I feel as though 90% of success in college courses like this one is just about following the directions. So take time, ask questions if you have them, that kind of thing. So this is just offering some reminders, telling you how to do some things, and then you'll answer these questions. We're just introducing ourselves to one another. And if you have any questions, then you can look at the example that I've shared. You'll see that I have my name and then my chosen pronouns. Please utilize your name, the name you would like us to call you and utilize in the class in the subject line. And then you'll just click Start a New Thread. You'll put your name here. You can just list those questions. That's absolutely fine. And then you can click Post. I do ask that you share an image, so if you want to, you can add it as an attachment, or you can utilize this button right here. All right. You do not need to respond to my post, but I'm just showing you what it looks like. I've written more than you have to, that's okay. If you want to reply to people, just click reply, and you don't need to change the subject line, just start typing your response, and it should be, a couple of sentences. All right, so that's for Thursday. If you scroll down, we then have a mind map assignment, and this is a way to just kind of dip our toe. Do you see how this is a check mark here? Oh, so misleading. This is a way to just kind of dip our toes into a mind map assignment, which we'll utilize throughout the semester. It's just a way of organizing ideas, and what I want you to do is to utilize our syllabus as the starting point, okay? So I will in the future have a handout and a video that just walks through all of this information for the mind map assignment, but this week it's just very straightforward. I've given you kind of an example of what I want you to do, and you can use the template that I've offered. I'm also going to post the link to, you can use Canva or mind map, but it's, this one's here, it's very simple because I just want something pretty straightforward. In the middle, you're going to have the word syllabus, and then I want you to pick out those 4 ideas from the syllabus that you think are the most important to you. Okay, you don't have to try to figure out, well, what does Dr. E think are the most important things? No, it's the most important to you as a student and why. So push just a little bit. And note that if you use the basic mind map or if you utilize Canva or any of those options, you can change the size to fit the text. Let me pause once. Okay, here it comes. Excuse me. So this is just the basic. This is one that I made. And what you can do is, you can select the box and you can increase it if you need more space. You can also change the size of the type or the font. I don't suggest you go much lower than about 10. And you can change if you're, wanting to make sure that if your box expands, you can play around a little bit as long as your ideas are clear and you have syllabus in the middle. So what are those 4 main ideas from the syllabus that you as a student find the most useful, important? Make sure that you're uploading your document in the proper format. This is going to be really key, especially for those of you who are utilizing Macs. I am a Mac user, so I'm familiar with the fact that sometimes, there are going to be programs and things that don't accept pages or numbers documents, so you have to make sure that you are exporting often to PDF format to upload. You just click upload, and then you'll go and find the document and click open. Once you have the document visible, let me pause. Okay, once the document, the name will be here, so you'll see it. Then you want to scroll down and make sure that you click submit, okay? If you don't click submit, then the assignment, will not be submitted. And the good thing about D2L is it will confirm that you've submitted a document by sending you a confirmation email. Always look for this just to make absolutely sure, okay? All right, so that's the week 1 mind map, and we talked about the discussion post. The last thing to worry about for this week that is absolutely due this week is the quiz. And you just click on the week 1 quiz option. You can take this a few times if you need to. You'll click start quiz at the bottom. That's not visible, just there we go. Start quiz at the bottom, and you can, again, take it a few times if you need to get the grade that you would like. All right, that's a very basic kind of run through of this week, but if you have any questions, please remember that if you go to collaboration at the top, select discussions, there is a Q&A discussion board. You can post anonymously, so if you don't feel comfortable asking a question, but you might feel a little bit more willing to do so anonymously, feel free. And if you know the answer to another student's question, jump in. I'll be in there checking things, so don't worry about that, but I encourage you to help one another out. And of course, there's the student-only chat where I won't come to that area. I can't visit it. All right, so hopefully everything is pretty straightforward and you're feeling comfortable going into the first week, but know that if you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed, that's normal. That is normal. Also, please note that I go week by week in our course. So sometimes I get questions about opening up the first couple of weeks or all weeks. I just don't function that way. I can't function that way as a professor. So we go week by week and everything will be available for that week on Mondays by noon at the latest, unless you hear from me. So if you're looking to be in a class where you work ahead and that's just part of it, this may not be the class for you. I hope it's the class for you, but I just want to be upfront about that, from the start. So if you have any questions or concerns, let me know, post in that Q&A discussion board, and good luck this week.